I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right. Good morning. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Manningsman. On this Wednesday, I want to say big up to all of you who are up and out early. Yeah, up to a bright and early start as we embark on this fantastic hour-long discussion that we're going to have today and dialogue as we continue to, just plug in and leaning on Jamaica's football about, just how we can, from where we sit, where we stand, where we rest, give, just direction as to how we can deal with it. We have dealt with some stuff in terms of Jamaicans living outside of Jamaica. And yesterday we embarked on a new journey of discussing, the process of getting the quality of those who live within the geographical borders of Jamaica up to par with the international standards. And we started with looking at grassroots football. We're going to take it a step further today, and then we have one other topic that we're going to be dealing with in this hour. As usual, we open the lines at around 30 minutes so that our wonderful subscribers and viewers can join the program. I want to ask you, if you're watching and this is your first time, to subscribe to I Am Sure Sports. All right, we consistently put out quality content in a respectful manner, in a way that is understood and also very practical. We stand alone in our lane. There is no race, there is no competition. We stand alone and we compete with ourselves, that every day we seek to be better than we were yesterday. So hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure that you share this with someone else right about now. As usual, we want to begin by looking at, just a word of encouragement like we have always done. And so this particular topic is on building and maintaining relationships. And I have a couple of scriptures I want to read for you. One is from Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. It says, "He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed." All right. And then in Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26, it says, "The righteous should choose his friends carefully, for the way of the wicked leads them astray." All right. Just to let you know that people are interested in those who are interested in them. And that's a critical thing to understand when it comes on to relationship. So we love immediately many times, but we trust incrementally. All right. Trust takes time to build. Don't be cynical in life, but don't be gullible in life, especially as we become more and more exposed to different content on social media and so on and so forth. So don't look for people who share your interest. Look for people who share your values, because values are important. And so some relationships need to be initiated, right? Some relationships need to be cultivated, but fundamentally, some relationships need to be eliminated. So know what relationship you need to initiate, what you need to cultivate, but make sure you also know what relationships you need to eliminate. When people respect you as a friend, it means that they love you. When people respect you as a person, they admire you. When people respect you as a leader, they will follow you. All right. So when you take on connections, you take on directions in your life. Never do life with those who chip away at your values. Have as many people in your life that feed you as need you. Never let people steal your joy. For the greatest happiness and hurt of the ministry is the blessing and the betrayal of people. All right. So those are just a few words of encouragement I want to share with you all. You understand me? Hope it was a blessing to you all. And you can give me your thoughts and your feedback. Maybe you disagree. You would not have any reason to, I believe. But if you do, I it's up to you. But you can come again and let me know what would cause you to disagree with such what I call potent thoughts. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but I just think that it is good stuff. And yeah, all right. So let me just take a couple of comments right here. This is Gunner's boss says grassroots football refers to amateur and non-professional level of football played by individuals of all ages and ability, driven by a love for the game. All right, that is the Google or the whatever definition of the term and the word. Gunner's boss says the fundamental level of the sport encompasses activities like children's football, school and youth football, amateur adult leagues, disability league, and even walking football and futsal. I can see that that he did some research to get that argument. So we were not speaking about, when we're talking about grassroots, we're talking about development and participation, right? And that aspect has to do with kids, all right? When we talked about the whole FIFA idea, and while I understand the broad definition, we were speaking specifically to the young people or kids coming through the ranks. Big up Nitro, Dre, Anyweather Sports. Big up to you, Gunner's boss. Blessings to you, my friend, who again is here, Triple E KW Media. Blessings to all of you, and those who have not yet made a comment, blessings to you as well. For those who are watching on the rewatch sometime later today, Send in your comments and your thoughts and your feedback. And please, when you're commenting, I'd love to be able to read some of those comments, but I don't know. Sometimes when you make the comment after the show, I'm not sure what specific point you're referring to if you don't highlight it. Like when you say, what this man talking about is madness. I don't know if you're referring to a caller or one of the panelists, or you're even referring to me. So you have to kind of make that clear when you're online. All right, so let me just begin with this, with the second part, because like I said, this is going to be a 1 hour show. So this morning I was listening to radio and I heard a comment on a particular sports program. The host had a co-host inside the studio, and this had to do with some discussion about a former national player. I don't know the context. I don't know the full content. So I can't even quote or speak to, but I know there was some conversation about a former national player talking about national players attending games. And I want you to go back, if you can, and listen to this program, because there are two things that I disagree with that I want to make clear. All right. One, the host said that all Olympians must be allowed into the national stadium free. I suspect when he said this, he was referring to track and field. So what that means is that when there's a track and field event, if you have gone to the Olympics to represent Jamaica, you should be allowed to enter the stadium at no cost. All right? I do not believe that is practical. So I don't know if you know, but Jamaica has over 10,000 people who have participated in Olympics since the beginning of the Olympics. All right? And I suspect if you go to Olympics, what about the people who have competed at the World Championships but not at the Olympics? All right? What about an athlete who never made it to the Olympics but qualified and won gold medal in youth? Do we allow all persons who put on a Jamaican jersey to be allowed to enter the event that they participated in free of cost? All right? It makes absolutely no sense to me. And that was said. All Olympians must, and you can go back and listen, and if that is not what was said, then I can be corrected. If that was said, there has to be some explanation. Are we talking about medalists or just persons who participate? That's important to note. Because there are people who qualify for the Olympics and go there as reserve and never run. But they went. They are Olympians. There are people who run like the first round of relays and things. So I want to know, right? And then they never qualify. Do they get access to all sporting event, track and field event at the National Stadium? I don't know if you also know this, but there is a list of players in Jamaica that has represented the national team, and that is over 10,000 footballers that has played for Jamaica over the years. Think from, if you go back from in the 50s, are all these footballers, all of them should be allowed to attend games. So if you allow all the Olympians to come to the World Cup qualifiers, for example, who want to come free of cost, and all the footballers who have ever played for Jamaica, the national level, to come free of cost, that's 20,000 people who would not pay. So when we make blanket statements, I think it is very important that we break things down for the purpose of clarity. All right? So I am going to give them the benefit of the doubt that what they mean is specific people are saying, right? So let's go. Here is my thing. Those players and these things are, when you put these things in place, they become, and you know how Jamaica is. Once we have a policy, it stays for a lengthy period of time. Even some of our laws, we have seen that. There are some laws in Jamaica where people pay like all $10. That have not been changed because you still pay like 10 Jamaican dollars for certain things because that is what is in the books. So we have a way of keeping certain policy things for this extended period of time. So we must bear in mind that whatever we put in place now could be something that we live with forever. So say we, because you're saying that there should be, I know the co-host was saying that what they can do is all the players who played in 1998 should have their names at the gate of the National Stadium when there's a football game. And when they come to the gate, they say their name, present an ID, and they go in. That sounds like a good idea. But we also had some youth who qualified for World Cup. And we have some girls. We have a set of girls that qualified for World Cup. So should we open it to, if national teams are playing, all the players who have qualified for World Cup, male and female, seniors and juniors, should be allowed to enter the stadium free of cost. The issue you're going to have is if in the next 4 cycles of male, female, and youth World Cups, Jamaica qualify, that's more and more people. So you have to bear that in mind. Here is what I know is happening. You're a national player. The national team is playing. You call and say you're coming to the game, and they send you the ticket. There are some who will not do that because they don't think they should call. You're not begging. You're saying that, listen, I hear that Jamaica is playing a game against Trinidad and Tobago in September, and I want to attend the game. In fact, I want to attend all the World Cup games. The General Secretary should make sure you get tickets because you have said that. I don't think it should be a general thing. Okay, let's find a list of people because you're going to have people. You're going to have people who said, but where are you? We brought glory to the nation. Where are you when we were fighting and we weren't getting any pay? And think you're going to have those issues. And those are legitimate things. And then I hear part of the discussion was about what happened in the world. And in other places, you see this player and that player, they get special seating. You don't know what the arrangement is. You don't know. You don't know why Thierry Henry sits in some boxes at Arsenal. You don't know. How do you know the condition under which he's there? You don't know. But there is this idea that a country like Jamaica, once you represent Jamaica at the national level in football, right? Any game that Jamaica play, you should be allowed to attend without paying. And then we say, this is the global standard. Show me the proof that every person that has represented the United States of America in the sport of football from junior to senior level, they are allowed to enter all the games that the United States of America play free of cost because their names are on some list. You don't. But I'm very sure that players can call. Players should be able to call their federation and say, listen, I am attending this game. So for example, let me call some name. If Ricardo Gardner is coming from England, it's simple. He's coming to the game. He's going to attend the game. I cannot see why the Jamaica Football Federation would want to not give him a ticket. Ricardo Fuller, these guys live in England. Wes Morgan lives in England, right? I mean, because remember, if you're putting these people's name on a list, what you're also doing is to remove that seat. So if you have 1,000 names on the list, you have to sell 1,000 less tickets because you don't know that the person will be attending. So you have to get confirmation that the person attending the game. And then you send them their tickets. Because you can't say, okay, let's put the 5,000 of them on the list. Because that means you have reduced your capacity. And if 10 out of the 5,000 come, what happens to that 4,990 spaces? So that is my position on the thing. I am all for like I said, I don't know when there are games, from my interaction since I've been there, players from 1998 oftentimes will call the GenSec or even the president and say, listen, you know that may attend this match, and it's not a problem. And they normally don't get one ticket. So if you played in the 1998 campaign and you have never, it's because you have not said you're coming to the game or spoken to anybody. So this idea, for example, like Tyrone Marshall, or let's not use Tyrone Marshall, he's not there. Like Freddie Butler, all right? Right? How does that work? Yeah. How does that work? Do you just send him the ticket and then he doesn't turn up? They don't live in Jamaica. So for the ones who live in Jamaica, it is simple. You have their names already because you know them. There's a big picture of all of them. So all they have to do is say, I am attending this match, because they may not attend all the match. There's 3 World Cup games. All they have to say is, listen, I want to be in attendance at this 3 World Cup game. And you don't give them 1 ticket because they probably have wives. You give them 2, minimum. But what I'd love to hear is players who were in 1998 who asked for a ticket to attend a Jamaica game in the last 2 years, and they were told that they cannot get the ticket. But again, you know, you have other players who have represented Jamaica and done well and brought glory to the nation, won Caribbean Cups and those things. What about them? What about the under-17 team that qualified? Some of those guys have never gone onto the senior team. Should they be given those spaces as well? What about the under-20 team that qualified? So I don't know what, like I said, I'm not in people's mind, but I'd love for tomorrow if somebody could question the host of this show to explain what he meant along with his co-host, and that Olympians, again, this is what I heard and I don't hear well. So you can go back and listen it for yourself. Why should all Olympians be allowed to go? You know, we have Olympic boxers and cyclists and swimmers and divers and stuff. We have people who go to the Winter Olympics. Should all of these people be allowed to attend events free of cost once it is track and field? Why? Is it for gold medalists only? Is it for medalists only? Do medalists like really and truly, like, you know what is so funny? Because my position in this is multifaceted. Because I am thinking like the players, like a lot of the things we want to implement is for people who have brought the country glory. For example, people are saying that we need to do special things for like Shelley and Usain. The truth is, the people who need the help is not Shelley and Usain. It is the people who have not done so well in terms of getting medals and getting contracts. They are the ones who need the help, not the Usain. If Usain want to go to a match, I'm very sure that he can. Not that he should be an ambassador. That means he have same thing with Shelley and many others. But he doesn't really need the help per se. He doesn't really need the land per se or the house. It is the athletes who go and finish 9th in round 1 who don't get to do many races on the Diamond League circuit. They are the ones who need the help. Not the elite ones. The elite ones probably have big contracts and endorsements. I don't know. Maybe I'm confused, but I had to bring up that. Let me just take some of these. At least attend event paid for by their sponsor. All right. Most of the NFL players who attend the Super Bowl at Radio Row are there on behalf of Old Spice or a brand sponsor. Good one, the Gunners boss. Not free, but I think a discounted ticket could be available for them if they want to take that route. All right. Jamaica do not do no calculation when it comes to free, even when it does not make sense. Hence, waiting 5 hours for 2 pieces of chicken. can't be from in the 50s. We got independence 1962. Yeah, but did you know that Jamaica was playing football before that? Jamaica was playing football in the 50s, boss. We didn't just start playing football. We're not talking about, I'm talking about people who were saying that people who were playing football from in the 50s. There are people like that who are playing. Why shouldn't they be given? Because they are the pioneers. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that they were qualified for World Cup. Come on, Corey. All right? That's like going down a slippery slope to introduce an initiative like that. All right? In other places, those special seats or boxes are privately owned. And if you see players in them, they are there as guests of the individual or company that owns or lease the boxes. And I think this is more a club thing, more so than a international team thing. Right? Management, I joined the show for elevated discussion, like having a museum at the stadium for athletes who have been outstanding for the country. Yeah, I believe that isn't, I believe the work at the stadium does involve and include that, right? I believe so. And I also know that on the outside, they are doing some stuff as well. They are doing some stuff on the out, like, you know, that they have the bust of certain athletes on the outside. So I think they are putting that in place. All right. Yeah. All right. This one says, blessing management. The players don't have to call. Just make sure that all players' name are at the GFF office on hand. And if players want to go, match collect ticket at the GFF office. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that, Santini, I hear you. And that's how. Yeah. I think that's again, remember how tickets are. If your capacity is 30,000 as an example, and you have 5,000 players, once you have those 5,000 names down, that's 5,000 tickets. If 10 of those players come, you cannot sell those tickets, you know, because you don't know if on the match day the person going to turn up. That is the problem. So I think the onus is on the player to say, I am attending the game, so you get the ticket. The onus has to be, of course, your name is there because any random person can call. But if Freddie Butler, Ricardo Gardner, or Theodore Whitmore, or Warren Barrett, or Linval Dixon, or Durant Brown says, listen, Mr. Jensek, who they know, and the president, I'm coming to the 3 World Cup qualifying games, then yes, their names are there, and you know you have tickets for them. And I don't think they should get one. It should be more than one. But it cannot be for everybody. And if you go down that path, why don't we do the same thing for the youth teams that have qualified for World Cups? I think they were talking about players on the 1998 World Cup team. Well, they need to clarify that if that's what they were talking about, because they even said Olympians. So I thought it was a general thing they were talking about. Big up Sauti if that's what they were talking about, then yeah, they need to make it clear, because it can sound confusing. We're trying to make the World Cup from 1950 till now, 2020. We make it one time. Okay. How about it being a pass instead of a ticket? That way, if they are going to attend, they just get a pass instead of one of the tickets can be sold. Yeah, but you still have to, even if you give them a pass, it's still one of the spaces, so it's one ticket less. But you can give them a pass, but the pass also represents a space. Yeah. All right. See Simon here now from Jamaica, first game in 1925. Who that thought about 1962? Yeah. So now over 18,000 people played for Jamaica. of that figure, maybe 10,000 are alive. Tough ask to give free tickets the most, if not all former. All right. Hey, Simon, you're the boss, Simon. Thank you, Simon Preston. And that being said, Simon, you can't give to everyone who has played. And I think Simon is possibly talking about just at the senior level, because there are people who played under 17 and under 20, even under 23, and never represented the senior team. Right? So if you talk about like junior level, you're talking about the next 10,000 players. So all I'm saying is that, yes, I'm all in for 1998 campaign getting, but then you have people, for example, who are like, for example, let me give you an example. Anthony Corbett never played in the 1998 campaign. Should he get a ticket? Not that he won't, but I'm just asking. So there are players who are still around who are in Lenny Hyde. Should Lenny Hyde get a ticket? Or two? Alan Skillcole. Should they get tickets? Michael Tulloh, should they get tickets? Neville Oxford, still alive. Woldy Harris Dodd, still alive. Should they get tickets? Cardell Benbow. These guys, Cardell Benbow went to a Youth World Cup. Should he get a ticket? Omar Holness, Youth World Cup. Should he get a ticket? Well, Romario Williams is in the team, so we can't. we can't. So that is the thing that I'm talking about, you know. That we have to make sure that when we are putting things in place, we understand that, because Jamaica could have qualification after qualification and stuff. They also have, you know, a lot more. Yeah, man, let me just touch on this Tulloh thing before I come to the development thing, because we only have an hour, people, so you can call in, you know, because I'm only staying for an hour today. All right. So hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Yeah, Michael Tulloh, thanks. I was speaking about this. Listen, Michael Tulloh has been a stalwart. He has been helping so many past footballers who have fallen on hard times all across Jamaica. Unsung ones. He has been giving back, building houses, medical care for them, food for them. You know, putting them in those who need rehab in rehab. Now he's having some issues with his sight. So people, let's give him some support. If you want to reach out to him directly to help him, I can arrange that. If you want to do it, I prefer you not do it through me, but you can always reach out to him. You can call me, and I can also have you contact someone who can reach out to him to offer some help. But he has done a whole lot. Yeah. 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 So and so I believe, like I said, that I believe players should get tickets. I know that from the 1998 campaign, when they have said that they are coming to the game, the ones that I know, they have gotten multiple tickets. So I don't think from the federation side there is an issue. But I also want to see the former players more engaged in stuff. Like when games are coming up, it would be good to hear some of the national players encouraging people to come and support the team and promoting the team. It would be good to hear some of the former national players, just talking about the players and stuff like that. It would be good for that as well in the public domain. So some of them need to come out of this hibernation, self-imposed exile. Yeah? Players like Michael Graham, Mark Hagler, Wilson. There's a lot of players out there, though. Ali McNabb was a former national player and thing. So many of them. Yeah. All right. So let's get to I said Demo. Demo was beaten on the radio this morning. Oh my Lord. He was beaten badly on the radio. Yeah, but Shane, you're talking about over 10,000 players. That's what I'm saying to you. If you go back from time, you're talking close to 10,000 players. So you're saying that you'll be willing to give around 7,000 tickets for a stadium that holds 25,000. I'm saying that maybe it's practical. Could it be that the JFF doesn't make them feel a part of it? It could be. Yeah, it could be. It could be. That could be it as well, Paul Smith. That may be a legitimate thing. So they need to come out because for a player to come and say, hey, listen, man, the team is playing a game and when I was playing in the 70s, I don't think that have anything to do with the federation because they're not coming to, like, this is your national team. These are players that so you can talk about the players outside of the federation. But I think also the federation must have an inclusive policy where former players are concerned. So I think it's twofold, all right? Yes, Demo, you made a comment on the radio about the men on the radio should be talking about, they should not be in a win argument thing. Yes, Demo, they were beating you on the radio. You sent in a WhatsApp voice note that they should not be on the radio talking about a win argument thing when the team is at the lowest of lows, right? And then they said they had 15 minutes left on the program at the end of it. And so instead of winning argument, because that's not what they were doing, they're going to bawl for the last 15 minutes of the show. And they started, they were talking about you, Demo. So you say wrong, Demo, and now you're asking if that is a beating. Eh? I don't understand it. So which one you want to discuss? The beating or the All right, we had a caller.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, I open the gate up for my. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Good morning, caller. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. Hello? Hello? Hey, caller, welcome to the show. All right, caller gone. All right, so let me get to the discussion I wanted. So you have been hearing the discussion recently about, so I have 4. Oh, all right, let me just take this call. Caller, welcome to the show.
Yes, man. Pick up yourself, man.
Every time, man.
Yes, you could do me there, I'm busy, I'm work, I'm have to do my thing. People can brag and say, I never work again in my life. But tell us something with Jamaican people and give it. Jamaican people is very loving of free things and don't want to support anything. When you are promote an event, you have to go out there and put the resources in. People have to get there and all these things. No. Usain Bolt or whoever these people talking about, these people are brand ambassadors. And them brand them to go to and tell Nike and tell whoever sponsor them to listen. A big event over Jamaica, you know, push the product over there, you know. So if we are back or something, that's what mean what's going on. It's brand is not national team or the league that send people go to these events, you know.
Yes.
So where people come from. And we have to argument them up on the radio, brother, if people are talking them things up on the radio about giveaway. No, we're supposed to promote, encourage people to pay and go to these events so we can uplift the thing. When we give away the ticket, them know we don't have no tickets to sell and we don't have no tickets. So how it go? No, we sell tickets to come at the event. Who want to come at the event and love the event will pay for their ticket and come there. We don't support them free thing there, you know. Because Jamaican people love freeness, you know. And all when you give them the freeness, they say you don't give them all. When them beg you give them, they don't give them. Give them freely, them say them not get it. Because them all will go on. Because some of them don't want to work. When you go look some work and stop, beg and want freeness. But the national team to give you no ticket to go and you know, friend them ticket to go away with have them millions of dollars. But stop it, I'm going, you know. Oh, yes, no, man is man. Hear this. You know what I like? I like how the conversation that these people villainize me and now you all are running with that. And I love it. Yeah, listening from the other day, and you know what happened? Everything when me say on the man, me just say a joke, me attack. When me attack, say, we can't build a program by going around and the wholesale recruitment of players who are already there. If we want to build a long-standing thing, we have to start building from with the youth thing. Come up, oh no, we want to go to the World Cup now. So what happens? 3 of them to World Cup. We might not go to the World Cup. Yes, and this rush, and we're not going to be ready for the next World Cup coming up. Let us start to build from yourself. The grassroots, and that me that telling you from long time. All that I feel and I'm anti this, I'm anti that. Good, you know why? So give me some credit. I know I'm near the visionary in this conversation. Thank you very much. You can address that because I am working and it's very hard. I'm gone.
All right, Gunners boss, thank you. So let me just say, people, I do not agree with Gunners boss position. Number one, I am not here saying that players are not supposed to get tickets. I think the players from the 1998 World Cup campaign can be given tickets. And I did say, not one, say there were 40 players that were involved in it. You have 2 tickets per player. That's 80 tickets for the people who participated in the 1998 campaign, which would include people like Carl Brown and, you know, just other people around the staff, because that's historic. I am saying now, what you need to do is to put measures in place that if you start qualifying for World Cup after World Cup, how do you manage that? I am also saying that it is important as well that the players indicate that they will be in attendance, because once you say you're going to give the tickets, if the players are not planning on coming, you're really, according to rules, you can't sell the ticket because those are already allocated. They're already allocated. All right. So I think it is important that the players say, listen, I will be attending the 3 World Cup games. And then you create the list. I don't think it is begging. I don't think it is shameful. I don't think it is embarrassing for a player to call the federation and say, listen, there are 3 home World Cup games. I will be attending them. And either they give them a one-time pass for all 3 games for them and one other person or something like that. I agree with. But not all the players are going to come to the game. How many games will Paul Hall and Fitzroy Simpson be able to attend? And Dean Burton, Robbie Earl, Marcus Gill, Powell, Frank Sinclair. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, and then you have to, that's what I'm saying. Then you're going to have to do the same thing with the reggae girls, because they have qualified for 2 cycles. So all of those girls should be given tickets as well. You have to do that with the under 17 team that qualify because that was historic. And the under 20 team as well. All right. So that is my position where that is concerned. And then, yeah. And these are, let me just say, these are grandstand seats, right? Big up Jason for this because you're not going to give the players ticket for bleachers, right? So this is grandstand. So let's bear that in mind. That this is for the grandstand. Very good point, Jason. Did even mention that earlier. Yeah. All right. And Gunners Boss, let me just say the other thing that Gunners Boss spoke about that he has been saying grassroots. Nobody was saying that there was no need for grassroots football or the development of it. What people are saying is that where we're at right now, we're qualifying at the senior level. Grassroots will not benefit us right now. So you need to recruit your best players while you're working on your grassroots for other cycles. So Gunners Boss, at no point, well, let me say this. I have not heard on my platform people being dismissive of grassroots football for recruitment. They both must work together. They must be integrated. But at the top right now, you can't depend on grassroots. You have to build the grassroots program while you do what is necessary at the top to get your best players to qualify for tournaments. Oh, Bert is saying that it's just for the Reggae Boys and this is just the players from the 1998 campaign. All right, and you don't have to give for anyone else. And that I think is reasonable and feasible. That is it. Yeah, it cannot be for, that's what I'm saying that. The idea of former national players, it have to be specific because if you go to former national players, from the time we started playing football to now, you have over 10,000 former national players alive. It can't be. This idea from birth works better. The 1998 team. Dre says, I know a player that qualified for both U17 and U20 World Cup that need a ticket to attend. So if these things were in place, that would help also management. Well, do you see one person saying that give it to the youth qualifiers? Some are saying that no. You see, this is the issue. All right, so Peso, don't let Conrad Simmons draw you out. You hear? Them just a try to draw you out. Somebody else says only players with more than 25 caps, which is, are you talking about at the senior level? Players of the 1998 senior team only. All right. How many caps? It can't be based on caps, you know. Because, man, all right. So, for example, if it is based on caps, right? A player comes in now, right? Comes in now. So there are 6 games. They play 6 games and qualify. They go to the World Cup and they play 3 games. And after they play 3 games, all right, there you go, Simon. That's what I'm saying. After you play 3 games in the World Cup, you are knocked out. So that's 9 games and you never play back for Jamaica. Should he get a ticket? Because he was part of the qualification process. It can't be. It can't be based on caps. Because a man may have qualified and even score a goal in the World Cup, but don't have 20 caps. Would he get a ticket? Look at this. Yeah. Man, if they were to give all former national players, it would cost 20 million tickets cost for grandstand at 2. But and grandstand is not even 2,000. Grandstand is like 5,000. So you're talking about $50 million. But Duckland, you cannot say that. So you're not going to give Ricardo Gardner free ticket. You're not going to give the players in America free ticket. What do you mean? What if they want to come and watch Jamaica versus Trinidad? What if they want to come and watch a final game at home because they're going to win? You're not going to give them free ticket, Duckland? Duckland, come on, you know better than that. You know better than that, Duckland. All right, people, because time is going. So let's get into so I have 4 things that I call it. For me, they are if these. So we talk about grassroots, right? Which is participation, and we're talking about at the youth level, say from age 5 to 13, where we are introducing kids to the game. And so we increase participation like we discussed yesterday, right? So now, after that participation, there are 4 things that I believe will be necessary so we can produce better players, and players closer to world standard out of Jamaica. Better players than we're producing now, and players who are closer to world standards. And there are 4 things. There are many things, but I think if these 4 things are in place at the beginning, we are on the right part in terms of development. The first one is that we must have high quality environment. These kids from 5 to 13, we must have high quality environment. That includes the surface that they're using, right? All the analytical and statistical equipment necessary, the environment, including access to being treated well medically for whatever is happening. It includes bathroom facility. It includes security, right? So high quality environment. We have to create. When you look at academies across the world that are producing high quality players, the environment is critical, right? So we have to have good surfaces. We have to have good infrastructure. We have to have good security measure. We have to have safe spaces for boys and for girls at this level if we want to elevate the standard of football. So high quality environment is one of my first keys. Then we also need high quality coaching. It means that we need coaches who understand how to deal with kids, how to operate with girls who are 8 and 9 and boys who are 10 and 11, understanding the changes in them, the physical development, understanding the psychology of children. And so that we have high quality coaching, not just knowing and how to teach the kid how to pass a football, but help to develop them mentally, help to develop them. I think Andre and all those guys were saying this yesterday, how to develop them socially, so that when they go into other spaces, they know how to operate and behave. So you need high quality coaching. It cannot be just based on the level of certification, but are you specific in terms of your coaching license to be able to teach kids? Because, like, for example, I can't see like a Mourinho, for example, coaching just because of the type of coach he is. I don't see him coaching 5 and 6 years old. Right? That's my take on Mourinho. I don't see him being able to do that. Right? Yeah. So you need high quality coaching. Coaches who have their coaching certification, but are also educated in the specific of safety and security of children, the mental and the psychological aspect of a child's life, the growth process of children, which is physical growth, the social development of children. You need that, right? So you're creating, like I think Andre said it, you're creating a human being, but you're developing a high quality footballer, right? The coaching also includes the ability to separate as you identify talent, right? Separate as you identify talent. That means, right? You should be able to tell who is elite and who is not elite. You need to be able to tell, how do I move this player from this level to this level, right, in 3 years' time? Be able to measure, all right, based on your height, your body weight, this is where you should be at. But in 4 years' time, you should be here. All of those things have to do with the coaching. So, high quality environment, number one, high quality coaching, all right? The next thing is a high quality pathway, which means every child and their family should know where, watch this, what are the next steps. One of the things you know with baseball, it is very clear. You start at home, you go to base 1, base 2, base 3, and you return home. So you know where to start and you know where to go. And from the point A, you know where to go to point B, you know where to go to point C, and where to go to point D. Every child and their guardians and parents should know the pathway to development. In other words, there must be a clear picture presented to people that this is the pathway. Because without a vision, the people will perish. We also understand that we must write the vision down and make it clear. That means everyone should know what is step 1, what is step 2, what is step 3, what is step 4, or step 5, and how many steps you have. You can have as many steps, but they must be clearly understood and communicated so that even the child can understand where they go. Because if people don't know where they are going, they will end up anywhere. So having a clear pathway means we begin with the end in mind. So we have the end and we back up and we start and we get to the end that we have in mind. There must be a clear pathway. So let's go over again. There has to be high quality environment, high quality coaching, and a high quality pathway. All right? Finally, there must be high quality partnerships. Partnerships with all the stakeholders, meaning the MA, the parishes, the parents, FIFA, community-based organization, government, and private sector. The key stakeholders must come together. This is the only way islands like Jamaica will be able, I am telling you people, to have proper development. Now, there are players who are leaving Jamaica. The question is, do we even consider any one of the players leaving out of Jamaica to be on the pathway to world standards? When players leave, we're happy. And we want that. We want more. But the truth is, all of us know that when compared to the best players out there, we're still way behind. So if I were to ask you, who is the best local talent that has left Jamaica, and who is the local talent that is the closest to world standard? I'm talking about talent that was developed in Jamaica. Who would that be? Who is the Jamaican who is the closest to what we define as world standard in any position? Which Jamaican developed player? So while we will have players, in the European market and in the North American market, when you match them up with the top players, we're still way behind. And I think that has to do with not the grassroots, right? Because we can increase participation at the grassroots. It is how we are developing those who come to participate in the grassroots program. And so those are my 4 things. And over the next few days, when we come on, I'll have different people who will be coming on talking about creating high quality environment. What is necessary to have high quality coaches that tap into all the different areas that I mentioned. That creating a high quality pathway that is written down, that is clearly understood by even a 5-year-old, and quality partnership, parents, and how important it is to get parents involved in the life of their children. Too many of our kids are in places playing the sport and the parents have no involvement. So they are not enforcing the principles and values in the homes. So those are the things I want to raise with you and share with you. That's what's on my heart as the beginning of a process of conversation. We should have had some guests, but they have asked for a couple of days because they had some other function to come on and talk on these matters. So let me know. What do you think? What are your thoughts, people? I have time for a couple of phone calls on this particular topic and subject matter. And then I will close out the show because I have some other important engagements. All right, so high quality environment, high quality coaching, a high quality pathway, and high quality partnerships. Some of the keys in developing at the grassroots level. Big up Balakar. Pesa, don't let them dry out. You hear, Pesa? All Conrad Simmons is trying to do is to dry you out. He's just trolling you, my boss. All right. Yeah. Don't let them dry you out, Pesa. Just stay calm. You understand me? Don't let Conrad dry you out. Them figure you out, Pesa. Them say them figure you out now, That's so them just troll you. And they just put your name on some things to troll. You understand me? You see, anytime you stop respond to them, look how them go silent. So you give them reason for pressure you. Give them no more reason to pressure you, my brother. All right? Yeah. All right. So, hey, people, listen. Have you hit the like button? Have you hit the like button? Have you subscribed? Have you shared? If you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. Let me see what's going on over here. Not even 50 likes. We can't believe the people. Not even 50 likes on the video. Come on, people, hit the like button. Jeez, man. Normally we get 100 likes on the video. You can do better. Give us 50 likes. More than 50 of you are watching. More than 50 of you have watched. Listen, let me just say this because the transfer window, we should have spoken about this yesterday. The European transfer window is getting very interesting. I know a lot of fans were concerned, even Arsenal fans were concerned that Liverpool is getting Alexandra Isak from Newcastle. That is not going to happen. I think Liverpool is a very smart club, and what they were trying to do is to get Newcastle to pull out of the end. Etike, I think his name is the player that plays for, I think is Borussia Dortmund, right? I think that's what they're doing, right? Because Isak is between 150 million to 200 million. All right. And remember, he has 3 years left on his contract. So Newcastle has no obligation to sell him this year unless a ridiculous bill. I do not believe that Liverpool needs to spend 200 or between 150 to 200 million with the players that they already have. I don't believe so. You understand me? Oh, somebody says they're doing the. I think Rudolph Speed, Theodore Whitmore, Maron Garden, Andrew Peart are doing the A license course. That's what they are doing. So they are doing the A license course. Is it? Yeah. Is it? Or the pro? I think it's a pro. Is it pro one? I think it's a pro license. I think it's a pro license, because I think they already have A, don't it? I think they're doing the pro license. So I suspect Peter Mystic that once that is finished, that's probably a couple of weeks. Pro, yeah. They will be back on the island. I know a lot of people, there is an argument out there that Rudolph Speed has or is planning on stepping down as the chairman of the technical committee. I have been trying to verify that information. I have not been able to. And that is as he bids or he attempts to or will be applying to be the assistant coach for the senior men's team. And that will be a very interesting thing if it were to happen, in terms of just how Mr. Speed is viewed in the eyes of many in the public. And it will be interesting as well to find out if this is something the coach wants, because at the end of the day, I'm just telling you what I hear, sir. That's what I hear, that he will be applying. I don't know if he will be applying, if he has applied, but that is what I've heard, that he has stepped down. I said I have not verified any of the information, just speaking based on what I've heard from other vlogs. I did try calling him last week, as you know, and I guess he was preparing to go away. So if I can get verification on those things, I'll certainly come back to you, the people here, and let you know. But I just think like a head coach gets to pick his or choose his assistant. So if he says he wants Johnny Barnes, or he wants Paul, or he wants Rudolph Speed, that is up to the coach. So I believe that. Frankfurt, thank you so much, Bert. Yeah, thank you. He plays for Frankfurt, yeah. So I think Liverpool will end up getting him, because I think Newcastle going to double Isak's salary and keep him, and then Liverpool going to get a free run at the Frankfurt player. Yeah, man. Boris John. Boris Johnson, you might get yourself in a trouble, you know, boss. Hey, Bart, you're one of the persons I need to talk to tomorrow about this grassroots development. And I need to, listen, you need to text me because you have too much numbers, you know, boss. You have too much numbers, you know. You need to text me so I can talk to you. Maybe tomorrow we can have a conversation so I can share with your, share your ideas with the people. Yeah. But I personally think like, it is what, yeah, it is I feel like with all the issues that we have heard about in terms of conflict of interest, which continues to plague Jamaica's football at all levels, with both genders. If that were to happen, I think there will be a lot of backlash that could turn to distraction, and how that is dealt with by Mr. Speed if it happens, the head coach if it happens, and the federation will be very, very interesting. You know, if you just begin to look at things from a practical and logical perspective, if certain decisions are made, like, for example, say for example, Dwayne Atkinson were called in the team and he started, and Speed is there as a coach. Imagine what that would look like. All right. You know, just imagine now how difficult it is to even pick a player from Cavaliers, a present player, a former player, once you become a part of it. Even if the player is playing good. Watch this. If some players get dropped now or don't start now, you become the scapegoat. So I think it's going to be very, 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 I don't know. I think it is a very difficult thing. It's a hard thing to manage, and I'm looking forward to see. I need to get some answers on the U17, because what is happening with the U17? Because I've gotten so I feel so bad, right? And I have 3 minutes, so let me just do this. I feel so bad about what I'm hearing that went on in Atlanta. I'm going to do some investigation and figure out, right? Because, and people like Jason Ferron and Carl Wallace, not Kyle, Carl, Kerry James, remembered when Dre Anywhere Sport, remembered Andrew Lewis, can call some of the names. Remember when this thing started? When this thing started, it was just people like me, and like I call some of the names, just volunteering, and it actually started without the GFF, but it was very organized. To the point where when camps were being held, there was a cutoff number and a cutoff time. And I always say this because for people to be at these camps, it costs families a lot of money. And I said it before, even in the last cycle, there were families that spent, when you calculate it in Jamaican, millions of dollars, and their child wasn't even in the final 17. And when I hear about what happened in Atlanta, I need to do some more investigation. I'm asking, how did we get there, given how this thing started? If you go back to the first time a game was played, there were some teams in some blue jerseys and some green jerseys. They're on my channel. And for that particular camp, while we didn't get a lot of support, all the support we got, was from just diaspora people and people investing their own personal resources. It wasn't JFF funded, and it went perfect. So it is very disheartening for me when I hear the reports and I hear the complaints of parents and I hear about disorganization. And when I consider came in from Atlanta into Florida for those camps, and then there was a camp in Atlanta and he didn't even go. It just is baffling. And I say this without apology. One of the persons who, when it comes on to giving to football without nothing in return, is Kerry James. and he was a parent liaison officer with the previous. I cannot understand how something like this was done when he is the point person. Anything parents in the USA want to do, believe it or not, before they talk to the federation, they talk to Kerry. This is youth football. Why wouldn't he be involved in this? So I need to get some answers. I don't know if there's anybody out there. I'm going to try, I'm going to search, I'm going to seek, I'm going to find. But I'm like, some of the things that I'm hearing is crazy. How did we get here? How did we have something so good and now we are doing something so bad? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? So let's say the coaches failed to qualify the team. The coaches failed to qualify the team. Do you know you could replace the coaches and still keep the process? Because if you believe it is the coaches who failed, it's not the process that failed. So you could remove the coaches and keep the process, right? You could also demote the coaches, keep the process, and add others. Like, to me, it don't make sense. What I said, what Jamaican say, you throw the baby with the bathwater, you throw the bathwater with the baby. I don't even know, but however it goes, it goes. That same thing that people always say. I don't know which one. The people are not, Rob Smith, the people are not funding the national team. Who said they were funding the national team? The parents, let me tell you again, the parents were paying money. Some of the time we go all over the place. Rob Smith, if I have a son and there's a trial, am I funding the federation if I take my son to the trial? That's what I'm saying happen. How is that funding the Jamaica Football Federation? So you're having a trial in Florida. I live in New York, but I believe my son is good enough. So my wife and I decide that we are going to go down to Florida for the weekend to give her son a shot at this. It cost her a plane ticket, me a plane ticket, our son a plane ticket, and we also stay for the 2 days in a hotel. That's what I'm talking about. That's not funding the federation. That is a cost to me as a parent. And I'm saying that when I put that in, at least give me the best environment for my son. I did not say that the parents were funding the federation, boss. So I don't know how you came to that conclusion. Or maybe I am misunderstanding you, Rob. Maybe I don't understand what you're saying. All right. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Food and transportation. Yes, food as well and transportation. You all forget that. I went at my own expense, Rob. I wasn't funding the federation. Got my own food, bought my own ticket. I stayed with a friend. Jason did the same thing. He wasn't funding the federation. Even Dre, that's not fun. You understand me, so maybe that's not what you meant, but yeah. All right, yeah, man. Maybe so. That's what I'm saying. All right, people, listen. I wish I could stay longer with you because this is a good discussion. When you see a Boris Johnson chime in, you know it's going to be good. Yeah. So I am going to leave you for today, but tomorrow I will be back. Big show. We're gonna have a good panel tomorrow. You understand me? Thanks to everyone who hit the like button, everyone who subscribed today for the first time. Thanks to all the commenters and stuff. Really appreciate every single one of you. All right. Tomorrow, make sure you come with some super stickers and super chat because it's going to be a big one. All right. I'm going to see if I can get should I try to get the entertainer on? Come do a couple of tunes. Maybe I should bring on the entertainer. People are telling me, you take picture with them people? Then maybe I should call one of them. It's a lifestyle moment. Yeah. Understand me? Yeah. You understand me? Lifestyle moment. Because we have a lifestyle moment inside. I am sure sports channel. You understand me? Yeah. So big up on yourself. Have a blessed day. Be safe and be secure. I am Management. This has been I Am Sure Sports, and as usual, when you get to the end of the program, we say we are over and we are O-U-T. Out of here, out of here, out of here.